Much. Coming up next, everybody, Dr. Sandra Lee. She has tips for getting rid of that red in your nose. No, not all of you, but some of you. Getting a man to see a doctor, that can be a challenge, especially if the issue would be considered cosmetic. For example, there's one man who waited 20 years to seek treatment for a condition that was as plain as the nose on his face.
It's just a difficult task to have to go and stand in front of kids when you know they aren't going to laugh at me. I'm too big and too ornery, but I know what they're thinking.
Dick Ferguson was a middle school principal. His issue, a severe form of rosacea that attacked his nose. It's called rhinophyma.
It's when people have a thickening of their skin. So yeah, you had it. You had a little overgrowth on your nose, on your nostrils.
Dick suffered with this for more than 20 years. He had no idea it was easy to treat.
We use a really kind of a hot knife that cuts through it like butter.
Recovery took roughly 3 weeks. The results?
You'd be hard pressed not to be happy with the results.
Oh, that's amazing. Here's Dr. Sandra Lee. You know her. She's our dermatologist who drives in, is nice enough to drive in from her practice in Upland. This is actually a low-tech procedure.
Yes, it is. It's really been around for a long time. It's just an electrocautery. You know, what you use to cauterize skin.
Right.
And we actually just use a special handpiece. You can see it right here. It's a loop, and we heat this loop up, and we use it to sculpt the skin. We really just kind of peel off layers of the skin, and it cauterizes it at the same time.
We actually have a picture, a photo of that.
Yes.
Of that.
A severe form. This is a severe form of rosacea, a very common condition.
I had no idea.
W.C. Fields had it, you know. It's a thickening of the nose.
Would this require more of a plastic surgery than what you're talking about?
Well, no, you can do it this way too. I mean, you
really
can. There are different methods, but this is really a tried and true method and not super expensive.
I was about to say, and we have another picture as well, a little bit more of a common form of rosacea.
Yes, rosacea is very common, and there's really 3 main forms. That last one we talked about, rhinophyma, is a severe form. You know, what we most commonly see is a redness on the face, a ruddiness. We call it the curse of the Celts because it happens in more of people of Celtic origin, light hair, light eyes. And then you can just get redness, but you can also get pimples and like an acne form breakout.
Now, before I go to the next picture, you wouldn't use that same procedure on that type of rosacea that you would on the rhinophyma?
No, this type of procedure that I'm talking about with the rhinophyma, we're really just sculpting layers of skin off. We're trying to re-sculpt the nose. Like you have a blob of clay and you're just trying to recreate a new nose.
Now, there are non-surgical treatments. For example, the gentleman we just saw, whose pictures we saw, what are those?
Well, commonly we'll use some of these antibiotics or topical antibiotics like Metrogel, which is metronidazole. We'll use sodium sulfacetamide. We'll also use oral antibiotics, particularly if they have like an acne form breakout, like pustules, which is usually in the tetracycline category, like Oracea or Dorix. And you know, you can cover up redness too.
Can I interrupt you with the with the tetracycline or the doxycycline? Can you take that all the time, or if you do, will you form a resistance to it?
Well, I mean, if the large population were to take doxycycline all the time, yes, you know, that's when you develop a chance of developing resistance. But I think a single person is not what we're thinking about. I mean, but yeah, the more people take antibiotics, certainly that can happen. But this is something that can help, and you don't have to take it all the time. You can take it till it gets better, and then stop it.
And then finally, you had there's a tube over there, and that's more of a cosmetic thing?
To cover up, you know, a little bit of green. You know, did we talk about the mites though?
No, let's go ahead now. Guys, can you bring this up? And this was, I saved this for last, everybody.
Yes, this is very interesting. You know, there's a mite called the Demodex mite, which is similar to a spider. It has 8 legs. It actually lives on all of our skins.
Are you kidding?
But it actually burrows and lives in our pores. It eats our oil, and at night it comes out and mates and then goes back in. And the reason that we think that it might be a cause for rosacea is because people with rosacea tend to have more of these. And what happens is when they die, their poop causes inflation on our skin. So it's postulated that that's what's causing a rosacea.
Is there no way to get rid of these mites that we all have?
They live with us, we live with them, and we just exist happily.
That is really gross.
Well, that's life.
Wow. All right.
Aren't you lucky to be
Dr.
human?
Sandra Lee, thanks. Hey, what do you know? It's dinner time. All right, Dr. Sandra Lee from Upland, thank you very much. Especially with it's amazing what you did for that gentleman, too.